Hey everyone, it's Tuesday. So today we're going to talk about COPE. COPE is what they call charging orders protection entities. So what a charging order is when a judge or a court basically has adjudicated a case and they're going to seize either assets or funds, capital, money from the from whoever lost the case. So that's a charging order. So how does a protective entity comes into play? Is an LLC, could be a corporation. In the state of Wyoming, is the only state. I mean, there's Cope works in a lot of states, but Wyoming has the best entity because of the it's anonymous. Obviously, there's some other benefits as far as taxes go. No corporate tax, no personal income tax, no franchise tax. But for Cope purposes, it is the best protection in the world. In Wyoming, you don't have to actually to disclose who the registered agent is. I mean, who the manager is for a full year. So that's even more protection. That gives you a full year to start your business there, and then put things into place. So it's called a charging orders protective entity. Now, I'm not a lawyer, don't have a law degree, cannot provide you legal advice. I'm doing this from a practical standpoint. I am going to seek, I have a lawyer come on and explain COPE in more detail to you. But this is another reason to look at Wyoming. Let's say establish your LLCs. I've got two providers that are ideal. You can do a statutory trust, you can do trust. One company you can do, you can do a series LLC through one company as well as some other different functions. Um, there's, like I said, two entities, but COPE is something you definitely want to get. So what happens, what I'm going to show, I'm going to try to bring up a power. I've got three slides. I'll probably have about 25 to 30 by the time I'm done with it, but I'll show you the three slides today, basically. And obviously my org chart needs a little work. I got to find a different template, but I'm going to show it to you and just hopefully it gives you the right idea. But ideally, what you want to do is you want to have a holding company be your main company. People have asked me about different states. You'll have to look and see if you need a foreign entity registration. But ideally, you have a holding company in the state of Wyoming. You get your EIN established by one of the two providers, so you have that EIN, and you establish a bank account there. That's your holding company. You're going to want service companies, and then your LLCs are if you own properties, apartment buildings, rental properties, or things in different states. You might have one in Oklahoma, one in Texas, one in Colorado, one in Kansas. You want to have those LLCs set up in those states, but they all basically you have the Wyoming entity as your holding company, and your service companies would be in Wyoming for the most part, unless you actually have to get a license somewhere for construction. Now, let me show you this real quick. Um, okay, so if you guys can see me, this is going to be the entity. So you're going to want to sit there, and this is actually the org chart I said. You've got the Wyoming LLC is at the top. It's a holding company. You have your service companies. I'll explain those in a minute. Obviously, I'd like to rework this. The bottom portions would show you LLCs. This would say you have 12 properties. 123 Main Street all the way through 134 Main Street. That's ideal. So those would be in different states. If you got two, if you got two in Kansas, two in Oklahoma, two in Colorado, two in Michigan, two in wherever, and that's a good situation to have. But the holding company or service companies would be based in Wyoming. So you go to your service companies. One is going to be your financial entity. It's going to manage your finances. If you own rental properties, this is not where your tenants pay their rent. This manages all your purchasing and accounting, and it will be in Wyoming. So basically, if you own rental properties, you do all your purchasing. If you own short-term rentals, you're buying like towels, soap, different things, furniture, and all that. And basically it's managing your all your purchases. You would have your vendors get paid through there. You have a construction entity manages your rehabs, contractor and supplier accounts. You use company CAM for this, your scope of work forms, your draft schedules. If you can pull permits, that's great. But ideally, you're a project manager or you're a general contractor. You're generally gonna have a general contractor if you have to pull payments and permits, or some electricians and plumbers can pull them obviously for their specific purposes if that's all you have. If if you're gonna have a general contractor, or if you don't have a general contractor, then you can be the project manager. Then you can actually even pay a project manager yourself. You pay this entity. Obviously, check with Wyoming, check with your state to see what the requirements are. But this should ideally be in Wyoming. Both these one and two, financial and the construction, will both have bank accounts. Um, and then you'll have property management entity. Until you're big enough to actually have on-site management or you're outsourcing management, you'll have a property management entity. Your tenants pay rent to this entity. It would be in Wyoming as well. And then basically it would forward the funds to the financial entity. And then it would also, if you're doing any kind of painting, things like that, you might have it under the construction entity. But the property management would have, obviously for turnover and for, plumbers, things like that, just handyman type stuff for rental properties and apartments and stuff. And then if you are going to do marketing, your education entities, let's say you want to mentor people or you want to teach them how to do this, you want to do conferences, then you would have a fourth entity, be marketing and education entity for events, things like that. If you do conferences, it's a good way to get yourself out there, get yourself known. It attracts investors, it attracts partners, and it helps a lot. So these are the two vendors: Wyoming Corporate Services, WyomingCompany.com, and Buffalo Registered Agents, which is bestWyomingRegisteredAgent.com. They also can do statutory trusts. You can contact them. Wyoming Corporate Services also does series LLCs for Wyoming. I'll do another video on that. And they do some other stuff. They do all the way to attorney-client privilege. Both companies provide virtual office, mail forwarding, answering, things like that as well. And with Buffalo, you can start at I think $49. They have a package for like 149 up to $400 for what they call the firm, which is pretty good. A lot of good services, and they're pretty solid. If you're looking for a shelf corporation, Wyoming Corporate Services, like I've said in the other video about it, they have a lot of age shelf corporations. Both these are solid vendors. So, like I said, guys, I really appreciate your time. I really want to show you more entities. I'm going to probably have about 25 to 30 slides. I'm actually going to put at least a statue for Wyoming and some other things, some other information about the COPE. And I'm going to do a series LLC for Wyoming. Wyoming is the state you want to register your business in. That way you have your holding company there, and then you have your properties and stuff. And getting back to like if you're doing flips, so you're going to sell things, get an LLC, get at least the basic one for $49, and get your basic and the 149 for your basic LLC is 149. That protects you. Open that, whatever the address is, whatever, use that LLC until you sell it, and then dissolve it. And I know it's like it's a little bit of expense, but if you use Privy and use all my other tools and resources that I'm helping you with, it's going to be worth it. You're going to protect yourself. So get an LLC, even if you're doing a flip on that property. That 3 or 4 months that it's under rehab, get it under construction when it's on sale, it's going to protect you. It's like a firewall. That the COPE is like a firewall. That LLC, it's going to protect you. All right. If you like this content, please like, share, and subscribe on the YouTube so I can keep bringing you the content, and also join the Facebook.com/group/Other People's Money Show. And I'm going to sign off now, and I'm going to do another video in the next couple of days for series LLCs. And I got a couple other things going on. So just keep watching the YouTube and keep paying attention to the Facebook group. I thank you for your time.